What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Emmanuel. I post content about fashion and anything self-improvement. This is pretty much the ultimate guide to improving your style, going from dressing up like a little boy, people not taking you serious, you not having no presence when you walk in a room, to being a well-established, well-dressed man that in any room that you walk in, you automatically turn heads. People respect you. People automatically associate you with someone that has something going on. This is exactly what this guide is for. This is for the guys that's been looking to improve their style. This guide right here has each and everything that you need. This guide has no edits. There's nothing crazy. There's no music playing in the background. This is just a PowerPoint going by piece exactly how you could go from looking like this on the left and looking like this on the right. So let's get started. Where you are versus where you want to be. If you clicked on this video, I assume that you are a guy right here that is stuck dressing as if he's still 18, but you're 30. Like, I don't mean that in an offensive way. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but I mean that respectfully. So where you are currently, it's as if you're growing in age, but your style is remaining the same, right? So you're probably still wearing ripped jeans. You're probably still wearing graphic t-shirts, jerseys, out and about. You pretty much have no other form of options when it comes to dressing. You pretty much are always in shorts, sneaker, and t-shirts. You're a sneakerhead, but all you wear is sneakers. You have no ulterior options. You wear sneakers to a wedding. You wear sneakers to a 5-star restaurant. You wear sneakers everywhere. And then there's another percentage of you guys who may have a lot of money, may be doing very well in your careers, may be doing pretty good for yourself, but you still don't know how to dress. So you overcompensate with labels, designers, big belt buckles, and so on and so forth, right? You're probably the guy who's getting older, and what you used to wear back in high school, in college, whatever, is no longer working for who you are, where you're going, and who you're becoming. This is exactly who this guide is for. This is literally for the guy who's growing in age, but his attire, the way he dresses today, no longer fits the guy that he's becoming or the guy that he is. Where you want to be. You want to be the guy that shows up with presence before he speaks. You want to be the guy that when he walks in the room, it's almost like a pin drop when you walk through. You want to be the guy that looks confident in his clothing and comfortable. You don't just focus on comfort, but you focus on comfort and style. When you show up, people don't have to guess if you have confidence. People just know you have some sort of level of confidence and some sort of level of competence. And you want your wardrobe to support who you're becoming, just like I said, not where you've been. People will treat you with more respect because you look like you respect yourself. That's where you want to be. You've been lied to. This is the biggest problem when it comes to men dressing today. You guys have been lied to. What have you been lied to about? Perception is reality. This concept right here is where 90% of men fail and 90% of men lose, especially the men that are doing very well in their careers. They have a lot of money, stuff like that. This is where they lose right here. Now, if you look here on the left, you see this pie chart, right? How we communicate what actually gets heard, right? 55% of communication is body language. Another 38% is tone of voice, and 7% is words. So that right there indicates 93% of communication is nonverbal. This is exactly why dressing well and presenting yourself in the best manner as possible is important, because as humans, 90% of the communication that we do and how people receive communication is non-verbal. You don't have to say a word. When you walk into a bar, before you introduce yourself, before the woman knows how much you make, before she finds out what kind of car you drive, you've already told her everything that she needs to know about you just by how you present yourself, which is why perception is reality, meaning whatever people perceive of you is true, and whatever you perceive of yourself is also true. So how you show up visually shapes how people treat you, and if you're respected, and if you are remembered. I'm telling you, the guy that is always sharp, the guy that is always best dressed, those guys are respected amongst men. Those guys are respected amongst women. They're respected among their colleagues, older or younger. People respect them. And also, if he's really well dressed, he is also remembered. People don't forget people that are well dressed. They don't forget you. And just like today, everyone today has a short attention span. Even on TikTok, they tell you have 3 seconds to catch someone's attention. This is the same thing when you walk into a room. This is the same thing when people see you. That's why they say first impressions matter. So you have 3 seconds that when someone sees you, for them to automatically make a judgment on you before you even open your mouth. This is how you tell the story. This is how you tell your story. This is how you allow people to prejudge you. It's almost as if you're creating your own judgment. You're creating your own reality, because when you present yourself well, you automatically know how people are going to perceive you. You automatically know where people are going to associate you with. That's why it's important to pay attention to this stuff. And this is why 90% of men lose, because a lot of guys, they don't pay attention to this. The guys that make a lot of money, they don't pay attention to this because they think their money is going to get them through every door. It won't. It will not get you through every door. You got to put a little bit more effort. And starting with your style, this is a very good way to start elevating in every facet. And just like that, like your clothes, posture, your grooming, they all work together for you in a silent manner. You don't have to say anything. People will tell you, don't judge a book by its cover. We are human. That is the first thing that we do when we run into someone. That is the first thing that we do when we run into someone. That's why there's uniforms. A police officer, when he pulls up in his uniform, he doesn't have to tell you that he's a police officer, because how he is presented because of his uniform. Don't fall for this myth when people tell you that perception is not reality, and when people tell you that people don't judge a book by its cover. That's exactly what we do. This is why 90% of you are losing right now, because you think how people perceive you doesn't matter. It actually 100% matters. It matters. Now, to keep moving along, right? The problem isn't casual. There's no issue being casual. There's no issue with being a guy that likes to be comfortable or like to be in shorts, like to be a t-shirt, that doesn't like suits. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's just, if that is all that you have, if you are one-dimensional in that sense, it's immature. Most men don't outgrow their clothes, even when their life demands more. Again, there's nothing wrong with being casual. The problem is you're 30 now and you still dress like you're 18. That is the bottom line issue. You want to dress your age. So one of the biggest things that I've noticed as I've been able to grow is, as you grow, the rooms you walk into, they change. When we're talking about how you don't have to be casual all the time, if you pay attention to all of these pictures at the bottom, these are all casual outfits. Every single one of them are casual outfits. You don't see a suit in sight, because a lot of people think I'm just telling people that they need to wear a suit and all this stuff. No, that's not what I'm saying. No, that's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just saying you need to start dressing a lot more mature. You need to be looked as a serious person. You need people to take you serious. Your wardrobe is a good way of doing that. So if you look at all these different styles right here and these different outfits, I'm not in a suit in neither of them, but almost every single outfit here, I can go to the same establishments that I would go into in a suit. That's the point that I'm making. It's not about you can't be casual. No, there's a fine line. It's mature clothing. You see, the only logo that you see here is this one picture right here with the Tommy Hilfiger. That's the only big logo that you see here. Everything else is minimal. So my personal story. Before we continue, I'm going to give you guys a quick little rundown. How did I get here? A lot of people always ask me, how did I get into menswear? Why did I just start dressing up? Why did I start putting so much effort in my sense of style? And I always tell people that I didn't really just stumble upon this. This is just something that has always been in me. This is something that has been spoken over my life since the beginning of time. The first memory that comes into mind as far as like how did I really get into dressing like this and putting effort into my style is simply this. My grandma has always told me this one story. This is almost like the only story that my grandma always tells me. She explains to me how when I was a kid and when we were getting ready to go to church, I would walk into her room with like 2 different pieces of clothing and I would ask her, do these match? Does this go together? This is the only story that I remember when I was a kid. This is the only story that my grandma always tell me. I would always be asking her about the clothes. Does it look good? Does it go together? Stuff like that. So that right there automatically lets me know this is not something that I just started doing. This is something that I've always been doing. And secondly, my mom used to always call me a handsome French man. That's like the one thing that my mom used to always call me when I was younger. And it's funny because it's like, it's a joke that she had for me, but in reality, she didn't even realize that she was really speaking it into existence, because as time evolved, I just really just started doing this. Like I was just doing this more and more. And growing up, it started off with me just going to church. I'm Haitian, so a Caribbean culture is not the same way. We don't go to church the same way like the Western culture does. We're not really as casual. Most people, Haitian churches or Caribbean churches, everybody's well dressed. They're suited down. They're dressed to the nine. So for me growing up, that is the first place where I got to actually express my sense of style. It was at church. It went from me showing up to church every day. And if you look at these pictures here, you can see like, I don't think in all of these pictures, I'm older than like 17 in any of these pictures. And I used to really be really big into bow ties. That used to be really my thing. But yeah, it started off at church. I would be the best, well-dressed young kid at the church. Like I was like the best dressed one. And the older guys, they paid me my respect. They always showed love to me because I would always be fitted to the nine. And then the second place where I would express my sense of style was at school. In high school, we had days that were called Dress for Success days. Those were the days that were my favorite days in school. Why? Because although I had a good sense of style going on with the trends, around that time, people were, Kanye was big, so Yeezy, sneakers, all that stuff was really big then. But for me, I really wasn't concerned with that stuff, even though I knew how to fit in. I knew how to do what I needed to do, but I wasn't concerned about that stuff at all. I was just ready for the Dress for Success days, because those days we either had to present something and we had to dress up. And most of the guys at the school, they would be in polo shirts and Sperry's. That was a big thing. And again, no shade. There's nothing wrong with that. But me, I knew this was my time to shine. I knew this was my unique edge. I knew I was going to get a lot of attention that day. Why? Because I had suits, I had cardigans, I had bow ties, I had vests. I had everything that you needed to be well dressed. I'm getting mad compliments from my teachers. I'm getting looks from the girls, and my friends at the school used to always overly hype me. They would always hype me up to the maximum, right? So it went from me doing this at church. Then it went from me doing this at school during Dress for Success days. And then as time went on, once I graduated high school, this thing just became me. Like I just really just became this guy that was always well dressed. And that's when everything changed for me. My mindset shifted because when I graduated, I actually really started taking the menswear stuff serious, and I started getting around different circles, right? And I have another story for you guys. One of my clients, right? One of my best clients, I remember this was about probably like 3 or 4 years ago. I styled him for this big gala that he would do for this like nonprofit that he was a part of. And I remember him giving me like a general admissions ticket to that gala. So I went to the gala. I remember showing up and I go outside, bro. It's this huge line. It's this long line. And I'm like, dang, I got to really sit in this line. But then there was another door and it said VIP. And there was a red carpet going into it. I kid you not. As I start approaching the general admissions line, I kid you not, the guy at the door literally grabbed me and pulled me through the VIP line. When that happened, my mindset completely shifted as far as presenting myself. Everything changed for me from that day forward. Why? Because I realized not only do people have a different perception of you, but now you have success by association. What is the association? Your style. People automatically align you with success, and success automatically aligns itself with you. That's just the way of the world. That's just how the world works. When I tell you, my mind completely shifted that day. People really will treat you differently based on how you present yourself. I'll give you another story. And this happened earlier this year. Earlier this year, I remember I was fasting for a few days. And I remember the day I broke my fast, I'm like, man, I want to go get me a nice steak. Mind you, I love steak, but I've never been to like a really prestige steakhouse. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me get a reservation for Chops in Atlanta, right? I call in to place a reservation for Chops. They told me they had no space. They're not taking anybody else for the rest of the night. I promise you, this is exactly what they told me. Because I had to break my fast that day, I was determined to get a steak. So I was like, you know what? Let me just try to actually walk it. Let me actually just try to walk it. So I pull up anyways. I kid you not, guys. I walked right through the door. I was sat down within less than 5 minutes. And to even add on to that, I remember I ordered a drink that they didn't have in their menu. My server told me that they did not have the drink. I said, okay, cool. I ordered something else. Probably 10 minutes later, the bartender comes back to my table with the drink that I ordered. He told me, we didn't have your drink, but we found a way to make sure that you get this drink. It's on the house. Don't even worry about it. This is another one of those moments where everything shifted for me. And this is 4 years later from the initial mindset shift. Not only on the phone did they tell me no, but when I showed up, I was sat down. I was seated and my order was being taken. They was taking my order within 5 minutes of me pulling up to the spot. I promise you. And then they went above and beyond to give me top tier service when I ordered something that wasn't even on the menu. They didn't even charge me for it. Again, these people, because how they perceive me, because how they see me, they're automatically associating me with success. People will treat you different. The way you dress it really does send signals out to people. Respect begins with how you carry yourself. You don't need money to look like you value yourself. You don't need money to look like $1 million. Actually don't. Matter of fact, a lot of people think all of my suits are $1,000 plus. I only have one suit that cost me over $1,000. And to be honest, I got a discount. That's just me being completely transparent. I got a discount. I don't have no other suits in my closet or any other pieces in my closet that cost that much. I don't. And then this is what you guys cared most about. And I'm going to be honest, at the time, I cared about this too. It doesn't matter to me now because I realize that you need more, but women will notice. I cannot stress this enough. Women will 100% notice. So a lot of you guys are looking to get more matches on Tinder and on more DMs open on Instagram, whatever you want, more female attention. This is literally the key. This right here is the key. This literally is the best way to just speed run everything else that you have to go through to get female attention. When you dress well, women will notice. You will get unlimited attention from women. I promise you that. I can assure you that. And men respect it. Men, they respect it. Opportunities follow. And when I say with this, opportunities follow. So if y'all look, all of these pictures, right? Some of these people are familiar to you guys. You see Shador Sanders here, right? You see Sylvester Stallone at the bottom. And some of these guys are right here are popular influencers and stuff like that. And the rest of them are just well-established businessmen, architects, things like that. This guy right here is actually a scientist, right? So understand this when I say opportunities follow. Everybody in these photos makes well over 6 figures, right? Because I know there's only two main things that guys care about. It's women and money. Let's just be completely honest. We don't have to sugarcoat anything here on these videos. You guys care about female attention and we want to get our paper up. It's the truth. It's okay. It's okay. Every guy in these pictures make well over 6 figures. You want to know the only guy in these pictures that is not making 6 figures? Is me. I'm the only person that is not making 6 figures. And every single ring that I'm in, some of these rings, they've all been invites. They've all been plus ones. These are all people that wants to invite me to hang around their circles of well-established men. This is what I mean, men respect it. This is how I've been able to get in these rooms. This is how I've been able to shake hands with people like this. Sylvester Stallone was actually one of my clients. I helped him shop for one of his shows, Tulsa King. All of these guys now, because they respect me, they also want to associate themselves with me. And when I say opportunities follow, this is how you get into these rooms. And this is how you start shaking hands and kissing babies with top tier 1% men right here. Because why? They've already created their own perception of me. But the thing is, they thought they created that perception, but I already did it myself. And opportunities follow. You get in these rooms, you get invited places. People really just want to associate themselves with you. This is probably one of the best perks of dressing well. You will get in rooms that you do not belong. And that's the thing. You want to start and you want to dress as if the man that you're becoming. You don't wait until you become that man to start dressing or presenting yourself a certain way. No, you start doing it now. You ever heard you fake it till you make it? Yes, this is exactly what you do. You have to fake it until you make it. As soon as I started getting in these rooms, as soon as I started putting attention to detail to how I present myself, the numbers started to rise. The status started to grow. The female attention started to grow. Like at the time, I was not making any money. I was not making no money besides from my job. I was not making no money. But then opportunities started to come. People wanted to present me business opportunity. People wanted to collab with me, wanted to do stuff with me. Why? Because they respect me. And because that's just how the world works. That's just how God works. When God sees you in the midst, when God already knows who you're becoming, once you start aligning yourself with who he already calls you to be, everything else just flows. And use what you have where like it matters. You know what I'm saying? Don't overcomplicate it, man. It's a lot of you guys are really just not putting no effort at all. You guys are lazy. You think it doesn't matter. Start putting some effort. I promise you, everything will grow. Your status will grow. The women will grow. You start dating women with more substance. You start dating women that looks better. You start dating women of God. The numbers will grow. Your bank accounts will get fatter. And then the people that you associate yourself with will also grow too. What grown man style really mean? What does this actually mean? Does it have to do with age? Not necessarily. These are the things that you need to know. Number one, fit over hype. What do I mean right by this? If it doesn't fit you good, it doesn't matter what brand it is. If I have to scream this to the camera for y'all to understand, if it doesn't fit, it doesn't matter if it's Balenciaga, it doesn't matter if it's MCM, it doesn't matter if it's Chrome Heart, it does not matter. If it does not sit well on you, it doesn't matter. You need to start moving towards more neutral tones, stuff with more clean lines, quieter patterns. Some of this stuff on the left side, these pictures, this is stuff that you don't want to do. Now, I'm not saying some of this stuff you can't buy, but you just got to know how to put them together in a tasteful manner. But I'm making the point that just because you got a big name brand and it costs a lot, doesn't make it look good. But yes, more neutral tones, less patterns. You know what I'm saying? Maturity is quiet. Success is quiet. You don't need the logos. You just do not need the logos. Success doesn't scream, it speaks. You need more blank t-shirts over graphic tees. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on graphic tees. No, I have a few in my closet, probably like 3. But 80% of your shirts can't have a graphic on them. It's childish. Do you not remember when you were a child and your parents took you to Target, like you took you to the store, and all you were trying to get was shirts with your favorite TV shows and your shirt with your favorite anime and stuff like that? Bro, you can't be doing that at 30. I'm not saying don't show your personality and stuff like that, but man, that cannot be your whole wardrobe. Dress for the room you want to walk into. Unless you want to walk in a room full of anime characters and stuff like that, cool, by all means, do you, bro. But if you want to start rolling and kicking it with the big dogs, I'm talking about guys that you have reverence for, guys that you respect, guys that are doing better than you, this is what you need to do. Blank tees, solid colors. And then, like I said before, your fragrance, your grooming, your posture, everything comes together. They all come together. That stuff is important too. And this is for the sneakerheads. There's nothing wrong with sneakers. You just need some variety. You just need some options. You see, me right now, I've refined my wardrobe so much. Like, now I need to start buying sneakers because I don't have that many. And the ones that I have are really not that nice. But I have my loafers. I have my boots. I have all this other stuff. I have my casual minimal white sneakers. I have all of that, right? But now I need some sneakers to be able to have some diversity. This is probably one of the most important things that I learned as of recently, and that is accessories matter. They do. Accessories really turn up an outfit. They really do turn up an outfit. Like now, I wear bracelets. I've recently started getting into watches. I got bracelets, necklaces, whatever. I've recently started getting into watches. And there's no greater accessory than a nice watch. You cannot beat a nice watch. And it's a perfect conversation starter. I'm telling you, other guys, women as well, they notice the watch that you're wearing. They look at your watch, they start asking you questions about it. And if you have a nice brand one, like maybe a Rolex or something like that, or Cartier, even better. This one right here is not a Cartier. This is actually from a black-owned brand that's called Lookman Watches. These watches are not even $300. They're not even $300, right? I'm going to put the link in the description. If you want to purchase one, you'll be able to get an exclusive discount with my code. But yes, a timepiece is like a must-have. If you don't have any watches and all you have is an Apple Watch, you need to get you a nice watch. And Lookman Watches is probably the best place you could start. Trust me, the link will be in the description. And to finish off this slide, as you grow, your interests shift. And this is true. Once I started dressing a lot different, once I started walking into these different rooms, once I started shaking hands and making friends with these different people, I noticed something about myself and them. Their hobbies started becoming like my hobbies almost. The things that they like, or the things that they do is kind of like they just kind of started meshing, because the guys that are in the top percent in the world, majority of them are not seen playing the game all day. I'm just being honest. They're playing tennis. They're playing golf, right? They're into fabrics. They're into cigars. They're into watches. They're into nice steaks, well-cooked meals. They're into that type of stuff. That's what they do. They're into nice establishments. That's just the truth. They don't think they're better than people, but this is just where their taste is. This is what they like. So if you want to start rolling with these type of guys, you have to start looking the part first. And then these type of people will naturally just find you. You won't even have to look for them. They'll find you. Me, I'm the type of person, I promise you, like I love people, but I'm never really into people's faces. I'm not looking for that many friends. I've had the same friends since high school, honestly. To be honest with you, my 2 main close friends. But as I started growing, I promise you, a lot of people started wanting to become friends with me. A lot of people started inviting me to stuff. A lot of people thought of me when they're in rooms and they're talking about deals and stuff like that. My name started showing up. Why? Because their perception of me is completely different than where I'm actually at. And the one thing every man needs, and I know I said accessories are the most important thing, but this is definitely the most important thing. The one thing that you need at least one suit. If you want to turn it up a notch, you need one suit. A suit isn't for dressing up, it's for showing up. You need a well-fitted suit. A well-fitted suit is like a modern man's armor. It's literally a modern man's armor. Every man needs one. They're not just for weddings. They're not just for funerals. They're for almost any occasion. Like, you could almost wear a suit in any occasion. I had a mentor, and he's the one that really taught me almost everything I know as far as style and getting into suiting. I remember I used to only wear suits to work and stuff like that. And I remember he told me, like, dude, you have to wear it anywhere that makes sense. You have to wear it anywhere that makes sense. So I started wearing a suit to the bars. I cannot over exaggerate this enough. When I wore a suit to a bar, when I tell you, it was like nothing that I've experienced before. When you wear a suit, it lets people know that you respect the space that you're in, and it lets people know that you respect yourself as well. And having a suit and wearing suits is probably your unique edge. This is how you get ahead of 90% of guys. Kevin Samuels used to talk about this all the time. He used to say, do suit Saturdays, right? What most men don't understand is because most men don't own a suit is exactly why you should own one. Perfect example. If you walk into a bar, right, you automatically outclass 90% of the guys in the room. Guaranteed. I'm telling you, if you're struggling when you go out with women and you can't get female attention, I'm telling you right now, wear a suit. If it doesn't work, unsubscribe. Do not subscribe. Do not subscribe. Do not watch another video. You cannot listen to my content. You can make a video bashing me all you want. I'm giving you the right way to do it. I'm giving you all permission to do this. Wear a suit. Do it at least for a month. And I'm not saying wear a suit for 30 days straight. I'm saying every time you go to a certain establishment, if it calls for it. I'm not telling you to wear a suit to the gym. But if it calls for it, if you can, put on a suit on. Tell me if it doesn't make a difference. If it doesn't make a difference in your life, you could subscribe to my content. You'd never have to listen to a word I say ever again. Because 90% of guys don't wear suits, this is exactly why you will get a lot more matches. This is exactly why you're going to get a lot more female attention. You'll get way more numbers. You'll get way more dates. I promise you, you will get way more dates. Walk into a bar in a clean suit, I promise you, you'll notice a huge difference off the walk-in. You don't even have to talk yet. Off the walk-in, everything will change. And you have to pay attention, guys. You have to understand this. Men, we don't dress. Women do. Women are the ones that like to go to the fancy restaurants. They're the ones that like to go to nice establishments. They're the ones that like the finer things in life for the most part. They love a man in a well-fitted suit. Women absolutely love a man in a well-fitted suit. I don't know what the statistics say. I didn't look this up. I probably should have. But y'all can probably look it up yourself. Women love a man in a well-fitted suit. If you want more numbers, I'm telling you, wear a suit. And you got to think about it. Especially nowadays, you see all the girls, they're always in these nice places and stuff like that. Do you really think they want to be standing next to a guy that is not well-dressed, that doesn't look like he could fit in? I tell you guys this one thing. A well-dressed man is the type of man that a woman wants to bring around her family. You don't even have to be her boyfriend. You don't even have to be her man. Even if she has a boyfriend, she might be more willing to bring you around her friends and her colleagues and her family more than she likes her boyfriend. If her boyfriend is the one that's always in the jeans, if her boyfriend is the one that doesn't know how to dress, she literally might want to show up with you more than she would like to show up with her own boyfriend. The reason why I'm saying this, because I've had people do this to me before. Literally, because again, they want to associate themselves with you. Women love a man in a suit. Like, get that through your head. They just do. And a well-fitted suit, it just says that there's some sort of status. Like, you got a blue check. You're verified. Like, you pay attention to detail. You're confident. And you don't have to say a word. You don't have to say a word. Where can you get your first suit? And this is the challenge that I give anybody that watches this video. This is the challenge for you guys. After you watch this video, I want you to go buy your first suit. And I want you to tell me exactly where you got it from, right? And I'm going to tell you where you should get them from. Where you get your first suit. Entry level, right? Macy's is not bad. Men's Warehouse is not bad. If I had to pick between the two, Macy's would be fine. Those suits that you could find something for like $150 and things like that. K&G is a place you can find suits too, but you got to know what you're doing. If you don't, if you've never bought a suit before, don't go to K&G. Go to Macy's, get you a nice, well-fitted suit. Mid-tier, like next level, right? Banana Republic and J. Crew. I'm going to be completely honest. I haven't bought that many suits from them before, right? I've gotten stuff from Macy's and Man's Warehouse, not Banana Republic and J. Crew, but I know they're probably like one tier above. You'll find some good quality suits there too, around $200, maybe $300 around that time, right? Now, if you really want to go out with a bae, if you really want to just go get straight to it without no delay, if you want to get straight to it, the next best, this is the top of the top. You have Richmond Looks, Indochino, and Suit Supply. Now, out of those three, my favorite, and I'm not being biased, it is Richmond Looks. It is Richmond Looks, right? This is, and I'll tell you why this is better for me. Those suits, Richmond Looks, it's a black-owned business, right? It's affordable. The average cost of a suit is about $350. They fit really well. You may not even need tailoring. And they're stylish. They're stylish. One thing I'll tell you about all of the places that I listed except for Richmond Looks, they have a lot of bland colors. They don't have that many styles. But Richmond Looks, they have every style, and they're constantly coming out with different styles. They always coming out with new suits almost every week. And they don't repeat the same style. So that means you'll never walk into an establishment with someone with the same suit as you. Indochino's good as well, and Suit Supply is also good. And I'm telling you right now, go get a suit from Richmond Looks, or if you can't afford that place, just go anywhere at these places, you'll be fine. This is what I challenge any guy that's watching this video. I want you to go cop a suit right now. I want you to go cop a suit. After you finish watching this video, I want you to cop a suit. I want you to take a picture in it, and I want you to tag me. Or I want you to just comment in the comment section, say, I bought a suit. And as far as like which one you should get, don't get nothing loud since it's your first one. Just get something simple. Either go navy, charcoal, or black. And focus on how it fits, not the flashiest. So don't just go buy you a bright yellow suit like you a banana or something. No, just go get you either a navy or a charcoal suit or something like that. I'm telling you, this is the beginning. That right there will be the beginning for you. It will be the beginning. What are your next steps? What should you do after watching this video? How can you improve your style today from what you've learned from these videos? And I've just broken it down for you right here. So if you want to screenshot this, screenshot this. Audit your closet. So I want you to go in your closet right now, take a look at the stuff that you have there, and I want you to donate or give away or sell, do whatever you want to do with all the clothing that don't align with who you are becoming and don't longer fit with your mindset. So all the extraness, all the stuff that you were wearing when you were a kid in high school, all the stuff you were wearing in college, all the gym gear, all the teams that you play sports, a lot of y'all like to wear your team's jerseys or shirts and garments and stuff like that. Look, all that stuff, man, get rid of all that stuff. Then the next thing I want you to do is, and I just have to say this, like, it's a big pet peeve of me. Remove 80% of those graphic t-shirts. You can still wear graphic tees, just keep maybe 2 or 3, you know what I'm saying, with personal meaning or whatnot, but majority of them, get rid of them. Get rid of them or get more subtle ones. And then if you want to start purchasing around basics. Go get basic t-shirts from Uniqlo, Target, places like that. We're boycotting Target right now, but go get basic t-shirts, get you nice fitted jackets, and get you neutral tones. And then, just like I said in the last slide, invest in one well-fitted suit. Get you one fitted suit, start with one, and then start building your collection. Y'all have all heard the Steve Harvey video. Do exactly that. And then I want you to go get you some loafers, some boots, and a clean pair of white sneakers. If you can't do all 3, just start with one. Some clean white sneakers works, not Air Force Ones. Keep your Air Force Ones, but get you some minimal white sneakers that are leather. They have nothing on them, no emblem. They look like you bought them from Temu. Even if you get them from Temu, I won't be mad, literally. Just do what you can. Get you one clean pair of white sneakers because they work with everything. And then pick up a pair of nice jeans with minimal rips. You don't need all your jeans to be super ripped jeans. They look crazy like you Kanye back in 2017 or something like that. No, get you some minimal jeans that look good, that are flattering to your frame, not the super skinny one. Get you some nice jeans, give you a rugged edge, make you look like a man of business. And then you want to start appreciating detail. Get you a nice watch. Like I said, I'll put this in the description. This is a great brand to purchase from. This is a great brand to purchase from. All of these brands, yes, I do have discount codes, but I'm not getting paid by none of them. I promise you, I'm not getting paid by none of them. But yes, Loopman watches, this is a great place to get your first watch. I'm telling you, it's a great place to get your first watch. And again, style is not about having a lot. It's just about having what aligns. And what that means is a lot of y'all got huge closets with a whole bunch of stuff that don't even fit with who you are. They don't fit with your body. They don't fit where you're going. Like, they just don't make sense. Get rid of them, donate them, sell them, do what you need to do, and you'll be fine. And that is the end of this video, guys. Look, and the final thing that I'm going to say to end this video is not to attack anyone personally. Look, all I'm going to say is insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So if you never tried any of the things that I've said in this video, just try it. Just try it. You never know what it's going to do. And if you found value from this video, if you learned anything from this video that you feel like could benefit you in your personal life, please just like, comment, and subscribe for more. This is how I'm able to keep these videos going. I appreciate you guys for sitting down and watching, and I'll see you in the next one.